turns on this bike circuit that they need to be aware of, especially with quite a large pack forming. There's one coming here, in fact, quite a sharp right-hander, brakes applied. Duffy's okay, she's out in front. Oh, and two have gone down, goodness me. Now that is Carolina Routier, number 25 from Spain. Here we are. In fact, it was the back wheel of one skidded out, taking out the other behind. I think Routier went down first.
I think Carolina may well just have clipped the curb there, which pushed it out. That's it happens. Very, very tight corner.
So they're riding through Anzac Park and towards transition to complete lap one after 27 minutes and about 40 seconds or thereabouts. We have a leading group. We'll get a check on all the runners and riders here. Katie Zafiris and Lucy Hall. Sarah True's in the front pack, along with Flora Duffy and Rebecca Clark from New Zealand. Emma Oliveira's there. Jessica Learmont is 7th, and Jorgensen, along with Takahashi, Reed and Ackerman. And then there's a bit of a break to Rachel Klarmer, who's trying to bridge the gap between the lead group and the chasers. And then we have the chase group, which number about 10, led here by Lindsay Jordanek with Claudia Rivas of Mexico and Yuri Ide, with Moffat in there, Bro, Densham, the Olympic bronze medalist, Ashley Gentle from Australia as well, Paula Findlay, Andrea Hewitt trying to close the gap, had a poor swim, Hewitt.
Now we've got Lucy Hall off the front there. Lucy Hall from Great Britain stepped back a little in the swimming, so used to watching her lead through. Now she's getting the experience, she's taking pace and using that little bit of rest and recovery to be able to make a big effort on the right. She's got away by herself. That's the tough thing to do. If there were 2 or 3 others with her, perhaps we've got a viable break. She
needs a really solid lead, and I think this mini break will be cancelled out quite quickly. Now this is the second group. Rachel Klarmer from the Netherlands, Jordanek of the United States, Lindsay Jordanek, and then we've got some of the Aussies. Ashley Gentle is in that group as well. The Olympic bronze medalist Erin Densham is with that group as well, making a return to form potentially, Erin Densham. This is the end of lap 3 now. The leaders coming into transition. 3 laps down, 5 to go. 43 minutes plus at the end of lap 3, and we have a small group, a good effective working group. This is a nice little package, and it includes Lucy Hall and Sarah True. Clark is still there, Oliveira and Learmont, both British triathletes involved. Jorgensen, what a position she's in. A total of 8. They can work hard during this next lap, 5 laps to go, and stretch their lead over the chasers, but it's all building up in favour of Gwen Jorgensen. She must be licking her lips looking at the position she's in, knowing that if she just stays out of trouble on 2 wheels, yet another victory could be hers. And with a clean sweep so far in the season, with victory in Abu Dhabi and in Auckland, Gwen Jorgensen looks good for the hat-trick. The chase group coming through, quite a long way back, 30 seconds. Some more familiar names in there, Emma Moffat and Aideen Reed. So now we're on lap 5. The sun is still shining, and we still have the same group of 8 out in front of the race. Gwen Jorgensen in second position. You can see her familiar frame. The Americans working well, and the 2 British riders, Hall and Learmont, cruising through to take up position at the front of the field. This is where we had the crash between Routier and Van Coverdon earlier, so they're all being a little cautious on that right-hander. It's a pretty tight turn. Now they can spring into action and accelerate away. And they will be able to see in a moment this group. They'll eyeball this group going in the wrong direction. The Australians, and they're numerous within this group, getting a little frustrated with the lack of effort, the lack of acceleration, the lack of an attempt to chase down the leaders. Erin Densham wearing 59. She's been one of the most vocal. They've got an awful lot of work to do.
It's huge. It's so... Looking at Gwen Jorgensen in the front pack, and the hard work done for Gwen on the swim. She's got used to playing catch-up on the bike, perhaps a little bit of frustration when she doesn't have people going with her, and now she's in that lead pack. She's done the hard work. She's got her strongest discipline still to come.
And the front 8 complete lap 5 with 3 to go, no change. They're all still standing, and the 2 British triathletes are still in there, Learmonth and Hall. 3 Americans who will be hoping to maybe put down a clean sweep today. Looking at their running capabilities, obviously Jorgen's miles ahead of them, but True and Zafiris are both great runners. They might fancy their chances, the American team, of a 1-2-3 today. The chase group, and they have dropped back to around 40 seconds off the pace. Sarah Ambro and Rachel Palmer, Jessica Broderick and Ashley Gentle, then Reed and Donna, Yuko Takahashi and Erin Densham, Amelie Kretz and Simona Ackerman, Lindsay Jordanek, Emma Moffat, Yuri Ide, Rivas. Hewitt is 41 seconds off. Findlay is at the back of that chase group. So lots of established triathletes in the back of this huge chasing group. Well, this was Jess Learmonth leading through the end of lap 5. So we've lost 1. We're down to 7. We were a group of 8. This is lap 7. And I think we might have lost Rebecca Clark of New Zealand. She appears to be the casualty. Lots of support for the front group, but frustratingly for the Australian supporters, they have to wait until the second group arrives before they see any green and gold. And at the end of the penultimate lap, after an hour and a quarter or so of this World Triathlon, the leading 7 are firmly established. The medals will come from 3 of these 7 riders, that's for sure, barring some sort of miracle run from one of the riders in the chase pack. So it's still Zafiris, Oliveira, True and Learmonth, then Jorgensen and Hall, Duffy in 7th, and they are, well, last time we got a check on the time, they were 40 seconds or so clear of the chase group. We'll see if that has stretched out even further. On to the final lap. They've taken the bell. They have 5 kilometres to ride before they'll park their bikes and set off on the 10,000 metre run. 32, 33, 34 seconds already to the chase group, and they may well find themselves more than 40 seconds off the pace, and we'll keep an eye out to see if Rebecca Clark has joined this group as they come through. Each of them will appear on the screen, and we'll see if Clark is indeed in the chasing group as they take the bell. Gentle, Moffat, the Australians with Hewitt, the New Zealander, then Takahashi and Ide, and Clark is at the back of that group.
There's just nobody taking responsibility in this chase pack. We've seen in the front, particularly with Flora Duffy to begin with, who took the responsibility, huge input of speed to stay away. There's maybe too many, but you'd think with the amount of Australians in the chase pack, surely they should be working together, coordinating as a team to try and break him down. And they're not, and the gap is lengthening and lengthening, lengthening.
Now this is Clark. She's got a problem with her gears. She's pedalling furiously and nothing's happening. It's a mechanical issue that has blown it for Rebecca Clark of New Zealand. So the Magnificent 7 approaching transition to park their bikes at the end of this 40k ride in the sun on the Gold Coast, and we'll see how long it takes for Gwen Jorgensen to break away. She must be sensing victory already. Such is her confidence, with so much strength in the running legs for Jorgensen. The feet are out of the shoes. They're approaching the dismount line, and this is the 4th discipline in triathlon, transition. You've got to get it right. The bike helmets have got to be put in the box. The bike's got to be hung up correctly. Everything's got to be done by the book. Otherwise you pick up essentially a 15-second stop-go penalty. We've seen it happen so many times before. Lucy Hall has made a quick transition. She bursts away. And Jorgensen's bike is flat. Now, Jorgensen left transition and left her bike on the deck. It wasn't in the bike rack, and she may well be punished for that. It can be harsh, but the rules are there to be followed, and we'll see if Jorgensen picks up a 15-second stop-go penalty for that infringement.
Technically and tactically, you have to say Flora Duffy, the second discipline, the bike, was excellent for her. She set the pace up to begin with. She then just allowed herself to stay in the middle of the pack, and in the last half kilometre she comes back to the front to get a clean transition, to get a clean run coming out.
Chase group into transition, off their bikes on the white dismount line. And now they head for their allotted position with Andrea Hewitt, looking for some good speed over the 10,000 metre run. She'll need it. Emma Moffat, a familiar figure for the last 7 or 8 seasons at the top level, marks up her bike. Helmet in the box. Moffat, the last winner here back in 2009, but it's not going to happen today. She's too far behind. Gentle of Australia on her way too. Sarah Ambro, the Canadian, towards the back of the chase group. Meanwhile, out in front, Gwen Jorgensen has taken the lead. She's gone past Duffy and Hall and takes up first position. You can see Sarah True in the background, and Katie Zafiris shouldn't be too far behind. Lucy Hall, such a strong swimmer, always up there and working hard on the bike, still working on her run. Let's have another look at what happened to Gwen Jorgensen coming into transition. This is seen from Katie Zafiris's station in transition, but look at the bike of Jorgensen. It's flat. She must have seen it. She didn't bother picking it up and putting it upright. She left it there forlornly, and she will almost certainly pick up a 15-second stop-go penalty as a result. But the way she's running, she could stop potentially for 30 seconds, maybe even 45 seconds, and win this race. And she's gone past Duffy and Hall and left them floundering somewhat in the background. Now, is that Zafiris and True in second and third? If it is, then already the potential of an American clean sweep is growing here. Here we go. It's Gwen Jorgensen of the United States leading Sarah True of the United States, with the third American, Katie Zafiris, with that compact running style of hers. And the American hat-trick is on the cards here. It will be a 1-2-3 for the USA if it stays like this, and it'll be 3 in a row at the start of the new season for Gwen Jorgensen if it stays like this, and she looks absolutely comfortable out in front.
Jorgensen has just learnt her trade. We keep saying it, but that's what triathlon's all about. You come in with one strong discipline, maybe two, and you have to work and work and work. And that's exactly what Jorgensen's done. To come out on the front pack, I don't think she would have imagined that just a pretty short time ago. She looks great. She doesn't look as if she's got any fatigue there. She had to have worked so hard on the swim. She established a place on the bike, and now the race is almost over, Matt.
Almost over, but there are still 3 laps to go. Jorgensen leads with True and Zafiris joint second at the moment. 1 hour, 31 minutes and 17 seconds of the triathlon complete so far. 1 lap down on the run, 3 laps to go, 7,500 metres to run, and Jorgensen is in complete control yet again. Now the penalty box shows number 2, and that is Gwen Jorgensen's number, which means that she will have to go into the box at some stage during the next 3 laps and stand still for 15 seconds. She's already got a lead of possibly 30 seconds, so she could take it at the end of this lap and still win. What a position to be in.
Tremendous position, and the strength of her running, that lead pack that came off together, and already Gwen has put almost a minute into some of the other athletes who are in that group. Great to see Sarah True back up there, looking very, very strong indeed. Katie Zafiris running very well.
Zafiris and True, stride for stride, shoulder to shoulder, chasing down Gwen Jorgensen, stars and stripes all the way. That is the lead that Jorgensen has, so it's significant. She has dominated triathlon on the run, and she's done it from a minute back at times, a minute and a half behind after the bike stage at times. Today she was with the leaders. Everything was much more straightforward than normal today for Gwen Jorgensen of the United States of America. She is unbeatable.